We know trans fats are bad for us, but do you really stay away or scan food labels for them? What if they caused Alzheimer's disease? That led to an investigation at Oregon Health and Science University.
We're interested in things that might have a role in the prevention of Alzheimer's disease, but also looking for things that might be actually causing the disease.
Dr. Gene Bowman and his colleagues studied 104 seniors with an average age of 87. They took blood samples to learn what foods their subjects ate and tested thinking and memory. Scientists discovered those whose blood contained higher levels of trans fats had smaller brains. A person's brain size can change, and as you can see, brain shrinkage is one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. So a larger brain is healthier.
We know that in Alzheimer's disease that the brain shrinks at an accelerated pace as the disease and pathology spreads to a certain part of the brain. But if you have a larger brain and more brain tissue, you might have a reserve to handle that pathology better.
In addition to smaller brains, people who ate more trans fats also scored lower on thinking and memory tests.
Trans fats are, they're kind of all over the place.
Fried food, fast food, shortening, and margarine are full of trans fats. So are packaged foods like cookies, crackers, and chips. If you want to avoid trans fats, just read the label. If you see hydrogenated in the list of ingredients, put it back. But be careful. Sometimes front labels are stamped no trans fat when the food actually contains it. You see, food manufacturers can claim a food has no trans fat even if there's up to 0.5 gram in each serving. They meet the government standard by declaring tiny serving sizes. What often ends up happening is those serving sizes are so small, most people eat more than they think, including a lot of trans fat. So when it comes to brain health, avoid trans fats to stay out of the danger zone. But if you really want to go the extra mile, look at what else the study revealed. Scientists discovered the people with the largest brains and the top scores on thinking and memory tests ate diets high in 5 specific nutrients: vitamins B, C, D, E, and the seafood type of omega-3 fatty acids.
So it's a combination of staying away from the bad and getting the good. If you just do one, you may not get the bonus effect.
If you think you've heard this before, you're right. That's been touted as a heart-healthy diet. As it turns out, foods that help or hurt the brain have the same effect on the heart. Cardiologist Deepak Talreja tells his patients daily food choices can literally mean the difference between life and death.
Trans fats are probably one of the most dangerous things we can consume that you see in everyday foods available to us that have no restrictions on them.
Artery-clogging trans fats double your risk of a heart attack and contribute to strokes, vascular disease, even diabetes. On the other hand, vitamin-rich fruits, vegetables, and omega-3s reduce the risk of heart disease. Dr. Talreja recommends taking daily fish oil supplements, enough so that the EPA and the DHA fats in them equal 1 to 2 grams.
There are many simple things we could do that would improve health across the nation, would help the economics of healthcare and everything else so much. If patients didn't get sick in the first place, it would cost a lot less to take care of them, and we'd all have better quality of life. This is a topic that really doesn't get enough attention at all.
So whether you're targeting your heart or your brain, the prescription is the same. Say no to trans fats and load up on vitamins and fish oils. Lori Johnson, CBN News.
Well, Lori is with us right now to amplify that story, and I might say she and I share today as our birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you, too.
Great.
And William Shatner also shares our birthday, Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Well, I'm counting down to 100. I've got 18 more years to go, and I'll be at 100. So I don't know where you're going, but probably you're going to 30.
I'm going to, no, but if you want to make 100, stay away from those trans fats.
Oh, I'll do it. All right. Now, the reason I wanted you to come on, talk about trans fats. Why do they put trans fats into food? Is it preservative? Is that the idea?
Absolutely. We need to know that trans fats are man-made. And scientists discovered years ago that if they injected fats with hydrogen, then it would prolong the shelf life. So when you talk about some of these foods like the crackers and the pastries that can sit in your shelf for weeks, months, even years, those have trans fats. It's the trans fats that are doing that. So it's marketing.
Right. Well, the idea, when they use the term hydrogenated, hydrogenating, that means they've got hydrogen in them?
Absolutely. That's where the word comes from. So trans fats are hydrogenated oils. So if you look on the list of ingredients, a lot of times it won't say trans fats, so you've got to look for that word hydrogenated. You know, they did a poll, and most of the respondents said that they knew trans fats were bad for them, but the same people did not know what they were or how to find them.
That's why I wanted you to amplify. Give me a few foods. I mean, you said crackers, for example. I mean, name some crackers.
The cracker aisle of the grocery store, everything in there is practically trans fats. And just like that doctor in the story said, trans fats are almost everywhere. So if you know something has a long shelf life, it probably has trans fats in it. So look for those labels, but almost all prepackaged cookies, crackers, all those little ho-hos and ding-dongs and Twinkies and all those things, pastries, anything that you get in the bakery department, shortening, and so this is for those of us who cook at home all the time, shortening like Crisco and margarine loaded with trans fats.
Margarine?
Yes, because 30 years ago, everybody thought margarine was so good for us. Not so. Margarine is loaded with trans fats. So if you have to choose, butter is better than margarine. But of course, we all know coconut oil touts them all. Coconut oil is the best fat of all.
Well, it used to be nibble and nab for a nickel. Now it's nibble and nab for 50 cents or 60 cents. But a pack of nabs, I mean, of those crackers, they're loaded with trans fats.
Oh, yeah. Almost anything that you get in the vending machine, look at the label, and if you see the word hydrogenated, and then you'll start getting the idea of what trans fats are in.
How long does it take this stuff to get to your brain? Have they figured out how many years it takes?
Well, they do know from this study that it doesn't take much of it. So very small amounts of trans fat can have devastating effect on your brain and your heart. And they also realize that it's because trans fats molecularly are one molecule away from plastic. Think about that. And so it affects the cell membrane. And what happens is with Alzheimer's, your brain starts shrinking 10, 20 years before you actually start showing symptoms. So prevention is key here. So like with the coconut oil, which we talked about a couple months ago, and with the trans fats, if you can eat coconut oil and stay away from the trans fats, you might be able to prevent Alzheimer's.
How about fried chicken? I mean, that's loaded with, they cook with trans fats, do they?
Well, it depends on what type of oil you use. Crisco has the trans fats in it. Coconut oil does not.
Well, let's
fry your chicken in coconut oil.
Well, let's take the kernel. Do you know what they cook in?
Well, that's a secret recipe, isn't it?
I thought you had broken the code.
That's my next story. I'm investigating.
Well,
I don't know.
This is shocking because everybody eats crackers. Everybody's, you know, Andy Griffith was pumping that everything goes better with the rich.
Right.
You know? Rich crackers. I mean,
well,
you see,
that's all about money. Okay.
I know it's about money, but they've got trans fats in rich crackers.
They sure do. And then you have your health food aisle, and you have your organic aisles of the grocery store. Look on there. So some of those manufacturers do not use trans fats, and some cities, like New York cities, have a ban on trans fats in restaurants. So they have to use other types of oil.
Bloomberg has been accused of setting up a nanny state, but maybe he's doing good for the people. That's great.
Well, I don't know if we need the government to tell us how to eat. I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Don't eat the fried food.
I've got a whole bunch of those fish oil things. They're not bad. My little dog likes one too. I give him one.
Fish oil is great. So just look on the package of the fish oil. Add up the milligrams of DHA and EPA, add them up, and they should equal 1 to 2 grams. That's how much you should be taking, because people wonder all the time, how much of it should I be taking? And the capsules all have different measurements in them.
You're terrific.
Thank you. Well, this is near and dear to my heart. I guess maybe since we're born on the same day, we both have the same interests. I want so badly for our viewers to be healthy.
Aries against trans fat. That's what Laurie, God bless you. Thank you for being here.
God bless you too. Happy birthday.
You too, darling.